Hey everyone! Listen, this isn't a hair tutorial, but I have to go somewhere. I got places to go and people to see, and I need to do this live for you guys because it's the last day of day 10. So I'm just going to do my hair, which is actually perfect for this video that I'm talking about how to be authentic with yourself while I'm curling my hair. While I'm like not giving a fuck if anything looks good in my video, if anything looks right, if I look professional. It's just like, this is a perfect video for me to do my hair to you guys while talking about how I have learned to be like 110% authentic in my business, right? Okay, so let's talk about why you feel like you can't be authentic in your business, all right? If anybody wants to know how I curl my hair, this is what I do. All right, anyways. So most people feel like there's some type of persona they have to put on in order to, I don't know, be, like when they show up in their business, they just automatically think that there's some type of like way they have to be. Some of us are kind of programmed from our old jobs that we have to put on this professional corporate demeanor of being super professional and talking only in terms and having everything seem very official. But honestly, if you watch any of Gary Vaynerchuk's videos, he's big on this, that authenticity is better than anything. I mean, look at who he is and look at how famous he has become just by entirely 110% being himself, right? Like, he doesn't give a fuck, right? And he swears in all of his videos, and he is just himself. And people were automatically drawn to that. So now not only does he have his social media company, he also has like his own brand just because he was totally himself and people love that, right? So some of us are still holding on to this idea that there's like this corporate way we have to be in our business, and like there's this certain way you have to act and this certain way you have to do business and things have to be official and all this other stuff. And we're really holding on to that real old way of working. And that doesn't translate well in like a personal business. In like your personal business, you want to be yourself because in the end, the person is doing business with you. They're not doing business with a company, a brand, a corporation, anything like that. Most of the time, mostly all of us in here are solopreneurs, which means we are everything from admin, virtual assistant, receptionist to the bookkeeper, the financial, I mean, you guys are everything, right? So it's not like you are trying to represent some corporation or some brand. You are really representing yourself. And so if you're answering an email in a way that really isn't like you at all, or you're doing like social media posts in a way that is not you at all, then like when the client goes to meet you, they're going to be like, who the fuck is this? Like, who is this person talking to me like this? Like, this is so weird because you talked in such a like corporate generic-y type of way, right? That like the person's like, who is this person that I'm doing business with? I don't really know them. So I think a lot of us get caught up in that there's this certain way we have to be in our business. We have to act a certain way. We have to show up in a certain way. And that's really because of like old programming with working in corporate jobs, with working in any establishment you worked in where you worked like you had to represent their brand or their corporation, and that's the way they did things. So now you've continued that over into your business, and that doesn't make any sense. It's not for you, right? Like it's almost, to me, it's like the dumbest thing in the world, because it's like you're talking in a way that someone taught you was appropriate to talk like, and maybe it was appropriate for their business and for their corporation and for their big brand and things like that, but that's not you. And you are your business. The person who's going to be buying invitations from you, the person who's going to be having you at their wedding the entire day, taking their pictures, that person that's doing that, that's you. So you are 110% showing up. Oh, hey, Steph. So I'm curling my hair. I have to do my hair, and I said, this is funny that I'm doing a live stream while I'm actually curling my hair, because it really shows you how completely authentic I am, because I don't even give a shit about curling my hair on live streams now. I'm just like, this is who I am. Well, this is the wand. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of it. This is the wand, and this is how I curl my hair. But yeah, just 110% being myself. This is what I do. This is how I curl my hair. You can see the whole fucking thing. And it's because I am totally authentic in my business, which most of us are not, which most of us have a lot of trouble doing. But if people just knew, oh, now I'm getting confused. All right. So anyways, when it comes to being authentic in your business, this is when I actually get a lot from a lot of my clients. They come to me and say, I just want to be authentic in my business. And I'm like, it's actually really easy. I think it takes time. I think you have to disassociate yourself from this like corporation that you're a part of, or this like old corporate talk you picked up from whatever job you had a long time ago. Or maybe you picked up some ideas from someone else who you admire or influenced by, and you think, oh, I have to mirror my business in a way that that person does, but you actually just want your business to work for you. Like, you want your business to be entirely 110% you. So if you want to be able to curl your hair on your videos and not give a shit and fully show up 110%, then you create a community like that and you set that boundary, just like how I have. I don't think many of you guys are surprised that I'm curling my hair on a live, because I've shown up on lives without makeup. I've shown up on lives just like, this is who I am, right? So how can you be more authentic in your business? Let's start out by first, of course, cutting the ties that you talk like a corporate person. And let's also cut the ties of like, who gives a shit what other people think about you? Like, if we cut that one, that's the biggest one I think I had to cut. It's been one that I feel like I fully have cut. But of course, as women, we are always like, I want everyone to like me, but I want everyone to like me. And if everyone likes you, then no one's going to love you. There's a quote that says, if no one hates your stuff, then no one's going to love it. So it's kind of like, if everyone likes you, you're just forgettable. Like, if you aren't really showing yourself in your business, right? Like, how am I even going to remember who you are? How am I going to remember you from like 5 other photographers that I talked to? How am I going to remember you from like 10 other event planners that I went with, right? And the only way I'm going to remember you is if you like show up as yourself and I feel like you're being totally genuine with me. I'll be like, oh my God, that girl was so cool. She was like exactly who I want to work with, exactly who I want to be with, exactly who I want to spend my time with. And I feel like she's not bullshitting me because she's totally authentic. So letting go of the ties of like what other people think of you and how other people are judging you and all that other stuff, don't even worry about that part. You have to 110% be yourself in your business, because it's the only way you're going to actually stand out from 800 other people, seriously. Like, there's going to be that bride or whoever, whatever that person is looking to do to book people, they're going to go to like 5 other people and say, look at their price, look at their things. And like, what's the thing that's going to make you stand out from everybody else? And it's being yourself entirely. Hi! So, how can you be more yourself? 1, you can cut ties from the old way that corporations did everything. 2, you can just let go of rejections and fears and ideas that you think other people will have of you. You can also just say, like, what's going to set me apart from everybody else, right? Like, what's going to actually set you apart from all the other people that they're interviewing, all the other people that they're going with, right? So, here's the thing, guys. When you want to be 110% authentic in your business, the only person that will allow you to do that is you, right? Like, the only person that will say, okay, Stephanie, okay, Christine, okay, whoever's watching, and say, okay, time to totally be yourself, time to let the veil down, time to, just be who you are. Because think about it, this is the person you are, the person that's showing up to the wedding, that's spending 10 hours with them, that's spending 8 hours with them, the person that is, whether you're doing packages for them or things like that, the person that's communicating with them, the person that's spending time with them. That is you, right? And like, you're not going to put on some persona for 8 to 10 hours, or you're not going to put on some persona for like weeks as you're working out packages with them. You're probably going to let down your guard and probably be a little bit more of yourself. So whether that's a little goofy or sarcastic or funny or fun, they're going to see that eventually. So why not just like let it rip. Like, why not just let the whole thing happen as you are presenting yourself on social media and as you are presenting yourself on your website? So who here has fears around being themselves? Write in the comments right now what your fears are around if you are entirely yourself. Are there things that you think, a lot of times people are always saying, I'm worried people won't book me if I'm 110% myself. I'm worried people won't like me if I'm 110% myself, right? Anybody want to write in the comments what they're really fearful of if they are 110% themselves? Anything like that? Write in the comments. I'm trying to think about what other people have. Mostly, it's just judgments of other people. I'm struggling. Okay, so Christine is struggling with fusing her real life with, let me guess, the Instagram life, right? Like with the persona that we all have to put out to portray perfection and beauty and everything like that. That stuff. Emily, people will see the person I see in myself, and I don't always like. Ooh, that's a deep one, Emily. Love it. Love how you're like ripping it open, getting raw right now. That is really actually beautiful that you shared that with us. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Okay. So underneath all this stuff, underneath letting go of the rejection of other people, underneath all that, is when you are, this is a perfect point, Emily, because this is exactly where I was going. When you are 110% yourself, when you show up in your business, when you are doing the things that you know you need to be doing, what you really deep down are actually saying to yourself is you're saying, Shannon, I love you enough that I'm going to give this business my all. I love myself so much that I'm going to just show up as I am, and people are going to be attracted to that. Sometimes I'll write out a journal that will say, if I loved myself today, what would I do? If I loved myself today, how would I act in my business? If I loved myself enough, or if I love myself a lot, anything like that, how would I act? Who would I be? And what kind of business would I have? So even saying, if I loved myself, would I actually have these prices associated with my packages? If I loved myself, would I discount these packages majorly? Probably not, right? If I loved myself, just 110% completely. How would I, what would I charge with my packages if I loved myself entirely? How would I show up in my business today? How would I show up? You can apply that to anything. How would I show up on my Instagram? How would I show up on my Facebook? How would I show up with my clients? Like, if I loved myself deeply enough. And Emily, I'm so happy you brought that up, because that's exactly the point I was getting to. When I found if I asked myself these questions, then these were the things I was like, oh my God, this is what I need. I need to actually show myself some love first, and then I can allow myself to entirely be who I want to be. And then when I did that, when I stepped fully into the Shannon that has now been showing up for the past 10 days, it's like I have made more money than I have in the past 6 months. I've had more fun in my business. I've been so productive, like incredibly productive, like just going balls to the wall, not in a burnt out way, not in like, I have to do these things and I have to do this thing. It was like, I showed up in a way of like, I'm so excited to be here in my business. I'm so excited to do lives with you guys. I'm so excited to start my boot camp, because I feel like just genuinely inside now, I just love myself. I can be myself. I can cut judgments of other people. If they think I can't make $1 million business online, that's fine. Watch me, right? Like, that's fine. Just watch what I do, right? But because I love myself enough, I'm going to allow myself to have the business that I want. And I'm going to allow myself to show up in the ways that I want. And Stephanie, I want to get to yours. I hear that people think I'm stuck up in a bitch before they get to know me. I'm worried if I lose the corporate persona, then they'll think I'm a bitch too. So that's so interesting that people would think you are stuck up and you're a bitch when, of course, you know you're not, right? And so what I would say is, like, I think is the corporate persona, right? If the corporate persona isn't working for you and giving people that idea of you, then there's no other version of you to be but yourself. And when you are yourself, that's when you will attract the people who know that you're not a bitch and know that you're not stuck up. They just are genuinely drawn to you because you're totally and 110% not BSing them. And you're just totally and 110% being yourself, which people, honestly guys, people love. They look at people who are entirely themselves almost as a leader, almost as like someone who is leading the way and saying, thank you. Thank you so much for showing up enough and loving yourself enough to lead the way for me now to entirely and 110% be myself. So is that all I got? I think that's all I got for being authentic in your business. Do you guys have any other questions, Stephanie, Emily, or Christine? Do you have any questions about entirely being authentic in your business? Christine, I didn't address your question. I'm struggling with, so I think Christine is struggling with infusing her real life with the Instagram life. So there's kind of the question going around right now of personal versus business Instagram. I think that we are, of course, if you started watching the beginning of this, I think that we are our businesses, of course. Our personality is our business, and the person is going to be doing business with you. So, Stephanie, when it comes with infusing it, maybe it's not showing a picture of, like, you know, your daughter. Maybe it's not that piece of you, but it could be the piece of you who's working behind the scenes. It could be the piece of you who's putting the things together. So you could be showing the part of you that is behind the scenes. And people love behind the scenes stuff. That's like, it's huge. Believe me, it's huge on Instagram to do behind the scenes stuff. So maybe it's not showing, you know, the Christine, the mom Christine, or the Christine in this way, right? But it could be showing how you are as a designer behind the scenes, how you are as a designer, like when you are creating, how you are as a designer in that way. So Christine says, how much is good or how much is too much? I don't believe there's ever enough. I don't believe there's ever like too much you ever have to hold back from people. I know I just talked about separating, you know, mom Christine from calligrapher Christine. But I really think that the more people hold back, the I feel like the less you are excited about your business. Putting yourself in a box of, I should be this way, and I should only share this much, and I should only do these things. I feel like that's stifling to creatives. I feel like that's really stifles their creativity, really stifles the passion in their business, really stifles them to feel excited, feel motivated in their business. So I feel like for you, the best thing you could do is lose any boxes you're trying to put around yourself. Lose any restrictions and just say, if I could 110% be myself and make the money I want to make, how would I act in my business? How would I show up in my business? You could even replace that, if I 110% loved myself fully and was going to make the money I want to make, how would I show up in my business? What would I do today in my business? Any of those types of questions will always lead you to deep journaling exercises that will reveal to you, oh, this is how I really want to operate my business. That's a good question, Christine. And Emily says, my personal Instagram, my business Instagram look very different. Do you think that may confuse clients? This one's always a little tricky. Like I was just saying with Christine's, it can always feel a little tricky because I know you guys are, like, my business is 110% me. Like, you'll see my business Instagram and I'll share pictures of my cats and you'll really see who I am. I know, Emily, that you're a photographer, and I would always feel like if you're sharing a piece of you, and as a photographer, I spend a lot of time with you. So I would want to know what you really are like. Like, I want to know if my photographer is a real person just because I'm spending so much time with them. So I think anything that shows a piece of you, what you could do is the first step to blending these two is like I did for Christine. A lot of behind the scenes stuff. Share who you are, you know, behind the camera, behind the persona, like what you are creating, what ideas do you have, what you're like when you get someone to take a picture of you shooting someone, you know, get a picture of you like editing things and just showing behind the scenes what you look like. And I think that could be a good first step to mixing the two. Of course, Jenna Kutcher's awesome at Instagram, and we all know that. And she is always very raw and very real in who she is on her Instagram. So I think whether it's sharing a photo of your work and then sharing something very deep, not something just like, oh, I took this photo at this wedding. You could share something about that inspired you to take the photo. You could share something about you, about why you started photography. Something that gets me into a glimpse of who you are, gets me a deeper connection with you. But it's not like showing me like the sloppy side of me. Although I love to show the sloppy side. I think that like sharing that is a way to connect with people and show your authenticity without like having it ruin your feed. You know what I'm saying? Like without having it ruin your whole Instagram persona. But what you could do is share a shot you took and really go deep with that shot and share something that's like, you know, I was really inspired by the shot. I've been really inspired by creating this business. I've been really inspired by this. Or when I took this shot, I was thinking this. Or when I saw this thing, I knew they would look good there. It could be something like that. And you can always go deeper. Always go deeper with people when you... The things that I have shared that have gotten the most interaction, that's gotten the most engagement, have always been things that I sat there for a while and thought about, should I share this? Those ones that I actually have thought about, should I really share this? What are people going to think? Oh, did you guys see my husband tight roping in the back? We have a slack line over here, and he's just like tight roping. I'll show you guys the slack line. Alright, but I want to see what I'm... Business-wise, I shoot light and airy. Okay, but on my personal page, it's dark and moody. Because I'm fascinated by moody stuff, but that's not where I'm taking my business style-wise. Why are they separate? Why do you love to shoot dark and moody, but only shoot light and airy for your business? Do you think you have to shoot? I have to show you guys this. Do you think you have to shoot light and airy for people to book you? And that's why you don't portray the dark and moody. And it's like, how long could that actually last? Now let me show you guys my husband walking on our slack line. You guys got like a little bit of a tour of my house today. I've never seen. So this is our shore house. And there's the lagoon right there and some water. Our deck is a mess. We're getting a new one. And here's our hot tub. And there's my husband. And then here's the slack line. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's too bright. Oh, it looks too bright. Okay, wait. See that pink thing? That's the slack line my husband walks on. He looks like he's tight roping in the background. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Yes, but he like slack lines a couple times a day. He slack lines over the lagoon. Yeah, we have a lot of fun here. We have a good time. Alright guys, so Emily, answer that question. I would love to see what you come up with. I have got to get going. I am running late. Okay, wait, let me read Emily's. Nope, I totally love both styles, but I've always shot light and airy. It's just in the past 6 months I've gotten into phone photography stuff, and I shoot with the moody feel. So, this is so interesting though, Emily. It's a really interesting thing that you love both styles, but will only shoot one. So I'd probably do like a little bit of a journaling exercise around it and maybe say, like, if I loved myself, because we talked about that, how that one's a hard one for you, if I 110% loved myself and I knew that the money was coming in and the money was going to happen no matter what I did, this is how I would love my Instagram to look. This is how I would love my business to look. This is the clients I would love to work with, and go ahead and just like list those things out. But begin with the statement of, if I was 110% loving myself, if I was 110% going to make the money that I wanted and everything like that, what would my business look like? And keep going with that one. Keep going with it deeper, because that's a big one. All right, guys, I'm running late. I've got to go, but it's been so much fun chatting with you guys. The 6-week boot camp closes Monday, and I just put out a sick-ass bonus, which is really exciting, but the bonus is only available for 24 hours. It's like my whole content library. My computer's going to die, but the boot camp closes Monday. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.